Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. Before I bring my guest in for today, don't forget to check out our social media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ASC Pods. You can find our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Find them on Twitter, at B Plus Radio. Also, check out their sponsor. You can get a 30-day free trial if you like podcasts, listen to books, all kind of different things. Go to audibletrial.com/B Plus Players. All right, on that note, I have with me the guy that is the mind behind the madness of Synergy Pro Wrestling, Mr. Colin West. Colin, coming up next Saturday, a big event called the Garden State Invitational.
I do. 8 men, 1 night, 1 tournament. Some of the baddest names in pro wrestling history, whether it's around the tri-state or in independent wrestling right now. Homicide, John Gresham, Warhorse, a.k.a. Jake Parnell, Brandon Kirk, Jimmy Rave, Anthony Green, Josh Briggs, Joe Gacy. I mean, what can I say? One was one of AJ Styles' greatest rivals. The other is a former Ring of Honor world champion and a 7-time Jersey All-Pro world champion. 3 guys are going to be on the Evolve 131 special on the network this coming weekend. I mean, what can you say? I'm thrilled about the field. It's stacked. We went big, and it's going to be a hell of a show.
I'm very excited. I want to roll through it real quick. You already name-dropped some of them, but I want to give the first-round matchups very quickly and get a quick little thought on, each contest for you.
Go for it. I'm always curious to see, I'm the dude that when the brackets come out, I just want to see how people fill out their brackets for March Madness. So, I'm all in on what do you think? What do you think is going to go down?
What do they call it? The bracketology?
Bracketology, my dude.
All right. Well, this is the first one I have written down, and it's personally one of my favorites. Is a guy I think is going to get signed by the end of the year. Joe Gacy going one-on-one with a guy that really doesn't like anybody, Josh Briggs.
I love that match. Honestly, when we signed, I was lucky enough to have, when I knew we were going to do an 8-man single elimination tournament, I'm like, okay, these are the first 12 guys I want to reach out to, and if we can get 4 or 5 of them that are free that date, then we'll go to the B list and we'll keep going on. All 8 of these guys were on my first list of 12. So we got our first flight of guys. So as soon as I knew that Gacy and Briggs were both here, we had no choice. That was the match. That was the match from day one.
I'm very excited to see it because they both have unique styles. You know what I mean, dude?
I mean, I do know what you mean. Yes, they have unique styles. Yes, they do indeed. So I want to know who you got. I want to know how you break that down.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Briggs just for the simple fact of he's the bigger dude, and I'm not saying that Gacy wouldn't get I don't want to say violent, but more vicious. But I think Josh Briggs would be the more vicious person.
I feel like you're being very you're being very gentlemanly about your opinions. It's cool if you just want to be like, I think Briggs will whoop up on the dude. You can say that. It's your show. What are people going to say to you?
Fuck you.
I mean, yeah, but what are they going to say to you past that?
That's true.
Go ahead. So yeah, the winner of that match will take on the winner of Jimmy Rave versus Retro AG Anthony Green.
This one also is very exciting because, God, Jimmy Rave's been doing his thing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against the guy that you would be considered more of an up-and-comer in Anthony Green.
That's true, and Anthony Green is this weekend a part of the very exclusive, I'll put it over because it's a great tournament, the Vacation Land Cup out in Limitless Wrestling. So he has told me very clearly that he plans to go up there, win that tournament, come down here, win the Garden State Invitational, and we can start calling him Tony Two Trophies. That's exactly what he said to me. I don't know.
I'm going to tag that on Twitter.
Yeah, Tony Two Trophies. But I don't know, man. I mean, I no disrespect. I think AG is a wonderful athlete and an underrated pro wrestler. As a lot of guys who are very charismatic they get underrated on their pro wrestling. He would not have gotten this far if he wasn't a damn good athlete. But Jimmy Rave is Jimmy Rave, man. You know, like I'm not. I'm not trying to oversimplify. Jimmy Rave is Jimmy Rave.
I mean, come on, dude. He's been doing it since, the early 2000s?
And doing it well. I represent Queens. I had to. It's an LL Cool J. Anyway, so that's one half of the bracket. Other half of the bracket, Homicide John Gresham. Let's go.
I'm super excited for this. Both been in Ring of Honor. Homicide's been in Impact here and there. I don't know. I just really believe in Jonathan Gresham because he does, with the exception of maybe one or two other guys out there, I don't think there's a better technical wrestler out there right now.
I agree. I wouldn't even put him behind anybody. I think that if anybody else is in the conversation with Gresham, they're in the conversation with Gresham and not the other way around. I think he's just stellar. Absolutely stellar. That being said, I mean, you're talking about Homicide trying to win a prestigious tournament in New Jersey. And in that, for that, with 25 years behind him and with basically home turf advantage, I think it's a wash. And for me, I mean, yeah, I'm the mind behind it, but I'll just say, straight up, I can't help but think that unless they just beat the shit out of each other, pardon my language, that the winner of this match is the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing.
I can see that.
I just don't see how. Let's say you're John Gresham and you beat Homicide. You just beat Homicide. And unless he took a large chunk out of you, that's the kind of momentum that you need to carry through a night like this. Especially you go into the second round, and the winner of that match will take on a man who used to call himself Jake Parnell, the Warhorse, and Brandon Kirk. And this is the only matchup of the first round where I released the names of the 8 individuals that were involved, and they just started tagging each other on Twitter, and they demanded to work each other in the first round. So give them what they want.
That'll be interesting because you have a history with Brandon Kirk.
Oh, I thought you have a douchebag in your tournament, is what I thought you were going to say. Yes, I do. But that was not my call. At the last event, at Synergy 11, since I now am full owner of the company, I gave creative director control to Nicholas K., and Nicholas K. reinstated Brandon Kirk and put him in the tournament. So I have to assume that Nick wants what's best for the company, and I have to put personal bias aside. Do I like it? Nope. No, I do not. Not in the least. But can I see why somebody would want Brandon Kirk in an illustrious pro wrestling tournament? Yes, I can. But we got a dude flying out from St. Louis to kick ass. And I love Warhorse. I think he's got something special going on. So it is very exciting for me to bring him out and put him on feature, you know?
It'll be fun because those are two guys that are riding a lot of momentum this year.
You know, they don't know how to, I'll put it this way, if we're going to talk about riding, these are two guys who don't know how to hit the brake. Like, they do not know how to hit the brake when they're driving. They throw it into gear, they go 0 to 80, and they just ride it. Like, it's going to be the first person who just walks into something they can't kick out of. Simple as that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like they go 100 miles an hour and don't know how to pump the brakes.
There's not a whole lot of defense going on with either guy.
No.
You know, there is not a lot of defense. They will walk in. Part of the calling card of a guy like Kirk or a guy like Warhorse is that they also like to prove how much they can take. You know, they like to prove how much they can get hit by and keep coming. So I think that we have 4 very different first-round matchups, and the reason we did it this way is, like, come on, man. Like, how many more tournaments are going to go like, hey, we're going to do a bunch of triple threats and fatal four-ways, and you just know that the best guy that night is not going to win. You know he's going to get jammed up, and you know that somehow the best performer in that tournament or whoever was the best all night long is going to be outside the ring when the pinfall happens. And this way, single elimination, you've got to beat 3 of the best in the business to win. You cannot skirt it. You cannot cheat. You cannot kind of connive your way to a victory. You got to straight up beat 3 people.
Yeah,
and that's the way I want it to be.
Yeah, no bullshit. I personally I hate it when you have triple threat and four ways, unless they're single elimination. Like you said, you're going to see someone that quote unquote doesn't want to lose, or they get pinned or they don't get pinned. They're outside and the pinfall happens or whatever.
Yeah, and that's just a matter of you've got 8 guys with 8 very big egos and 8 careers to protect. So it's not like I'm just going to walk in there and be like, all right, well, it's bop. Like, these guys are going to go out. And, I'm going to be perfectly frank with you. If somebody wants to win a match, can you read between the lines here with me a little bit? If somebody wants to win a match that maybe they weren't going to win, what's anybody going to do to stop them?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're in a triple threat and well, this is what it's going to be, okay, you collect your paycheck and you go home. Fair enough. But when you're dealing with, hey, if you're going to be out of this tournament, you're going to get pinned. You're going to have to tap out. You're going to have to submit something. Like that. That's a very different story. So I want there to be some level of pride and some level of extra, no, I'm not losing. Like that bit of knowing you can't get screwed out of this tournament. You're either going to win or you're going to go out on your back. Like, this is a field of 8 guys that are real good, and 7 of them are going out on their back.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
Definitely.
So
now, on top of the tournament, we have a fatal 4-way with Mike Dell, Black G's, Eric Corvus, and Jordan Oliver.
Yes, indeed. You have the guy, Mike Dell, who, let's run through Mike Dell's 2019. He went under a mask, attacked Matt Tremont with a crowbar, cost him the Synergy Championship. Then after all that, cost him the number 1 contendership. Then after all that, Matt Tremont challenged Mike Dell to a fans bring the weapons, no disqualification main event. And Dell beat him. That's the year that Mike Dell has had here. Like, Mike Dell, without being the champion, has run the damn show and has beaten Matt Tremont at Tremont's own game.
Which not a lot of people could say.
And, at some point, when are people going to start paying attention to this dude? Like, when are people going to start paying attention to Mike Dell? It's been almost 10 years, man. It's a Kid Osborne situation. When are you going to start paying attention to this dude? He's good. He's real good. And just because you don't like him, or just because, he's an old school kind of guy, he doesn't do all of this, stuff that, like, pops the internet. Like, when are you going to pay attention to the fact that this dude is damn good? But he's going to have to earn it. Because Black G's, I don't need to tell you about G's. I don't need to tell you the pedigree that man brings, and he's 2-0 since he's come here. Eric Corvus is now reinstated. He's back in the ring. I don't need to tell you about Eric Corvus's pedigree in this business. And I don't need to put over the CZW Wired Champion of the World and the kid who was making towns at 19 years old and signed to MLW in Jordan Oliver. So
and just got press slammed off of a roof.
I mean, look, everywhere you turn, I don't care if you like the kid or not. Everywhere you turn, every time you look around, somebody's got a video up of something Jordan Oliver has done.
100%.
Right or wrong. So I don't care what you have to say about the kid because people are talking about the kid. You know what I'm saying? That's the point of it. It's like everybody wanted to shit on MJF, and then they realized, oh, my God, we're all talking about MJF. Doesn't matter if we like him or not. We're all talking about him. And the same thing's going on with Jordan right now. So I wish more people were talking about Mike Dell. Everybody's talking about Jordan Oliver, and I don't need to tell you how good Corvus and G's are. So this is a fatal four-way, legitimate highlight match of four of the best that Synergy have to offer. None of them, I mean, except for Dell, none of them were really in a position where I could put them in a number one contenders match. Corvus's first match back, Jordan's debut match with the company. G's has only been here for 2 months. So this was the way I could highlight them without putting them in the number one contenders situation.
I got you. Let's see here. Next, as we go down, you're going to have a 10-person battle royal.
Indeed, and that battle royal is for the number one contendership to the Synergy Championship. Winner takes it. And you've got Logan Black, Jason Sinclair, Chris Benet, the Apostles of Chaos. You've got Tara Calloway, who has won the first ever mixed tag match in Synergy history and the first ever intergender match in Synergy history. That's all she's done.
That's all.
So you've got T.J. Crawford and Aaron Bradley, who are in an absolute blood feud with one another. You've got M.V. Young, who is under new management and is finally a member of the company. And you've got T.J. Blade and one or two surprises to be named later. This is winner take all. Friday, September 20th would be our next show. That features a main event including Rhino. Yes, Rhino, who's still under WWE contract, Rhino. The winner of that battle royal will take on the Synergy champion that night for the title.
Well, there you go. Everything on the line, Royal Rumble style.
If you will.
Yeah, there you go. And last but certainly not least, we have Matt McIntosh defending his Synergy World Heavyweight title against Frightmare.
Well, yeah, Frightmare is the former champion. Was scheduled to defend the title against Matt McIntosh in April. Went over to the UK, suffered a very unfortunate injury, broke his elbow, had to relinquish the title. Yeah, he was out for 2 months with a broken elbow. Was not pleasant for him. Relinquished the title, and Matt McIntosh won it that night, defeated Ace Austin for the vacant championship. And I told Frightmare point blank that you weren't pinned or defeated to lose the title, and whenever you're medically cleared, you get first shot. And he's medically cleared for July 20th. So there's history, there's beef here. McIntosh at one point earlier this year ripped the mask off Frightmare's face. So there's a lot of bad blood here. And we'll see whether the former champion or the current champion takes it.
It'll be very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I like this show because it's not just a very good standard-bearing inaugural 8-man tournament. but it is also the best of what Synergy has to offer on a month-to-month basis. So we didn't short out what we've been doing in favor of a tournament. We're just giving everybody everything at once. Plus, we're going to do pre-show games at 6 p.m. We're going to be out playing Can Jam and Cornhole with everybody and having a real good time. And we're going to be doing a donation drive for Camp Happy Times, which is the summer camp of the Valerie Fund. So if you go to Synergy Pro Wrestling's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you can see a list of items that you can bring to donate to the kids who are battling cancer or in remission from cancer that go to Camp Happy Times.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks to, that's through Ref Ryan T. helped hook that up, so shout out to Ryan Zorok. And also Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, the podcast, HPC Boys. You can catch them on Twitter at HPC2Sweet. And they were instrumental in making that happen, so I appreciate them greatly.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned all your socials. How can you give the tags how to reach those socials on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz?
No, I don't feel like it. No, sure, you can reach us out. You can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Synergy Wrestle, SYNERGY Wrestle. You can also reach out to us at synergywrestling.com or synergywrestling@gmail.com. And that is everything we got.
Well, there you go. I want to thank you, man, for taking the time in this early afternoon to jump on and chat about your show. I'm very excited for it.
Well, thank you, man. I'm barely an adult. What am I doing with my life? Not much. Not really much of anything. But yeah, no, I appreciate you. I mean, I could go down the line of just everybody who's been so good to me. I mean, you, Railroads, American Sports Connection, Wrestling IQ 101, Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, Nerdport Network, just like the Wrestling Estate has been amazing to us, Shining Wizards, Wrestling Express. Like, it's just a matter of, like, I came from journalism before I came into wrestling, so I will always really value and appreciate what podcasters, what bloggers, what writers and reporters do for this business. So I appreciate you a ton, man. Thank you.
Thanks, man. And all of those people you mentioned, they're really good people and talented people. I just wanted to give them a little shout out.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Why not? I mean, we're blessed in this area, specifically in the tri-state, to have some of the best wrestling media that is out there. And I didn't name everybody, and I apologize, but
there's a ton
blessed
more,
out
yeah,
here, and I
go
think,
on forever.
Yeah, absolutely could. And I think that if other people who run other companies are listening, don't ever treat your podcasters or your bloggers or anybody that they're annoying you or they're a burden, because you are giving up something very valuable by doing so. So always give them the time of day, because honest God, you never know who's going to be the next podcast to blow up. You never know who's going to be the next wrestling news website to blow up, and maybe, just maybe, you treated them like crap and you blew an opportunity.
I couldn't agree more. But on that note, we're going to get out of here for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that stuff, and we'll see you back next time. Have a good day, everybody.